Okay. Uh, Lathe machine is the one of the oldest of all machine tools and perhaps the most basic tool used in the industries. Okay, and in the lathe machine, we can hold only the cylindrical workpiece. Okay, it is not possible to hold the rectangular job or a square job in case of lathe machine. In lathe machine, we can hold only the cylindrical job. Before that, I'll show the structure of lathe machine. Okay. So what you are seeing is the uh, lathe machine. The lathe machine mainly consisting of these part. The first one is bed of the lathe. Then mainly we are having two parts. One is headstock. Second one is tailstock. And on the between the headstock and tailstock, the cross slide is sliding in between headstock and tailstock. Okay, this is what you are seeing. This is called as the lathe machine, and we can hold the given workpiece between this headstock and tailstock. Headstock is also called as the live center, means the power operation, the whatever all gearbox, everything present in the headstock. That's why it is called as live center. Okay. On the other hand, we are having another part called as tailstock. Tailstock, it is also called as dead center. So there is no power available in this part. That's why it is called a dead center. Every all headstock, gear arrangement, everything is present in the headstock. That's why it is called as the live center. Okay. And in the front of headstock, we are having a part called as check. Okay. Means the check is mainly used to hold the job, that is the given workpiece. This is the one part, headstock. Second one is tailstock. Tailstock we can move from this portion to this portion, or any position we can move. Tailstock is mainly acts as a supporting member. That's why it is called as dead center. And one more is there, that is called as tool post. In order to remove the material from the given workpiece, a part called as tool post, and we can insert the proper tool in the tool post, and we can move this. This is called as carriage. On the carriage, we are having this tool post. We can move according to the requirement. Okay, this is the carriage, and this is the tool post. Okay, and this is called as feed box to change the gearing arrangement, everything. So we are going to use the feed box, and we are having the switch, power on and off all activity we can perform using this switch button. Okay, and these are the lead screw and feed rod. These are the additional accessories in the lathe machine. Okay, so this is the what you are seeing. This is the structure of lathe machine. Okay, now I'll give the specification of lathe machine. Okay, how we are going to specify the lathe machine. Okay, as I said, in case of a lathe machine, we are having the headstock. So on the front of headstock, we are having the spindle, and in the spindle we can hold the job. And one more is there, this is called as tailstock, and in between headstock and tailstock we can hold our job. Okay, so this is the important diagram. How we are going to give the specification. Okay, first one, how much length of the job we can hold between the two center, that is called as the distance between two centers. Suppose my capacity is around 500 mm, so that we can hold the maximum length of 500 mm in between two centers. That is called as the distance between two center, means maximum length of the job we can hold in between two centers. Okay, this is the first one. Second one, swing diameter. Swing diameter is the distance from lathe bed to axis of the headstock and tailstock, means diameter, how much diameter so we can hold in the lathe machine, that is called a swing diameter. First one is distance between the center, means maximum length of the job we can hold between the two center. Swing diameter means maximum diameter of the job we can hold in the lathe machine, that is called as swing diameter, or it is also called as height of center. The naming is same. Okay, it is the height measured from the bed to the center of the lathe axis. This is the second specification. Third one is length of the bed. You see, length of the bed is how much, around 5000 mm or 2000 mm, the maximum length of the bed. Okay, this is the third specification. Don't make confusion between length of bed and distance between centers. Means distance between center means the maximum length of the workpiece we can hold in between centers. Length of the bed is entire length of the bed. This is also one of the specification. And fourth and last specification is your spindle speed. So some machines have less speed and some machines have higher spindle speed. According to that spindle speed, we are going to specify. These are the four basic specification of lathe machine. First one is before that you have to draw this diagram. You have to show the lathe bed, length of the bed. This is the headstock and this is the tailstock. Maximum length of the job we can hold in between the two center. Second one, maximum diameter we can rotate between the centers. Second specification. Length of the bed means how much length of the bed is the third specification. And finally, the range of spindle speed around 500 mm, 600 mm, like that. The maximum, suppose 1000 rpm is there, we can give the maximum spindle speed of 1000 rpm. These are the four specifications of lathe machine. Okay. Next important is our lathe operations. What are the operations we can perform on the lathe machines? Okay. So these are the important operations. They'll ask any 5 operation. We have to explain the operations with sketch. Okay. Before that, I'll tell various operations we can perform. First one is called as cylindrical turning. Cylindrical turning means reducing the diameter of the job. For example, I am having diameter as 100 mm. I want to reduce it to 80 mm. In that case, whatever the operation involved is known as cylindrical turning. Another name for cylindrical turning is plane turning or straight turning. Cylindrical turning means the reduction of diameter of the given job. This is the first operation. Second operation is called as facing. Facing means reduction in the length of workpiece. For example, I am having the length of 100 mm. I want to reduce it to 95 mm. Means 5 mm extra material I want to remove from the given workpiece. That is called as facing. Facing means the reduction in the length of the given workpiece. Third one is taper turning. Cylindrical turning is just reduction of the diameter. Taper turning means generation of the conical face. You can see the diagram. So such kind of the structure we can generate in the lathe machine. Conical means at one end we are having the bigger diameter, at other end we are having smaller diameter, and this is the length of the job. So such kind of the operation we can perform in the lathe machine. First, cylindrical turning. Second one is facing, means reduction in the length of the given workpiece. Third operation is the taper turning, that is generation of the conical surface. This is the third operation. And fourth operation is we are having knurling. Knurling means generation of the specified pattern on the given workpiece. In case of plane turning, just we are reducing the diameter. Sometimes it is required to generate the specified pattern on the given workpiece. So this kind of operation is called as the knurling. Knurling means generation of a specified pattern on the given workpiece. So such kind of the pattern, you see this one is an angle pattern, second one is diamond pattern, and third one is straight pattern. Such kind of the pattern we can generate on the lathe machine. And fifth one is thread cutting, means we can generate the threaded structure on the surface of the given workpiece. That is called a thread cutting, generation of threads on the given workpiece. This is the fifth operation. Next, sixth operation is drilling on the lathe. Okay, drilling means generation of the hole in the given workpiece. That is called as drilling. So these are the operations we can perform on the lathe machine. Okay, I'll repeat once again. So the various operation we can perform on the lathe machine are, first one is cylindrical turning. Cylindrical turning means the reduction in diameter of the given workpiece. Second one is facing. Facing means first one is cylindrical turning, reduction in the diameter of the job. Second one is facing, reduction in the length of the given workpiece. Third operation is taper turning, generation of the conical surface on the given workpiece. That is called taper turning. Fourth operation is knurling. Knurling means generation of specified pattern on the given workpiece. And then thread cutting means generation of threaded structure on the metallic parts. And then last one is the drilling, generation of cylindrical hole in a solid workpiece. That is called as drilling. So these are the operation we can perform on the lathe machine. Now I'll explain all these process one by one. First I'll explain the cylindrical turning, means reduction in the diameter of the job. Okay. So what you can see, so this is called as the cylindrical turning. Cylindrical turning means it is the reduction of the diameter from the given workpiece. So you can see the diagram. First in this is the headstock, and here in the headstock we are having the chuck. Chuck means we can hold the cylindrical workpiece in the chuck. That is magnetic operated chucks, and we can hold the workpiece inside the chuck. And one more is there. This is called a support, means it is a tailstock, and this left side is headstock and right side is tailstock, and this is the given workpiece. Just you assume that I am having a diameter of 100 mm. I want to reduce it to 90 mm. So that in that case we are going to remove the material from the given workpiece. 10 mm extra material we have to remove. So such kind of removal is done by the cylindrical turning, or it is also called as uh, plane turning. Okay. Now how the operation takes place. First operation, we are going to hold the given workpiece in the 3-jaw chuck or 4-jaw chuck. Next, a proper cutting tool is inserted in the tool post as I said. So just I'll show the diagram. We can insert the tool on the tool post. Okay, tool post is the one which holds the proper cutting tool. So you can see the tool post. Okay, suppose I am doing cylindrical turning, means we have to fix the proper turning tool in the tool post. Okay, a tool is fixed in the tool post. Okay, next. Okay, third one, we should switch on the motor. Okay, when the switch on the motor here, in case of lathe machine, you remember the workpiece rotates, because as we are holding the job in the spindle, as the spindle rotates, correspondingly the workpiece also rotates. You remember, it's the most important concept in the lathe machine. Okay, when the spindle rotates, the workpiece also rotates. Okay, and the tool moves. Okay, tool moves from right to left, left to right, or in a perpendicular direction. In case of cylindrical turning, okay, the tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation of the workpiece. Okay, so here tool movement, you see the tool moves in a direction. Okay, in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation. Okay, for example, here it comes, here tool moves and workpiece rotates. As the tool moves, there is a removal of the material diametrically. Just movement of the tool in a direction parallel to axis of the lathe. Okay, and whatever the material coming out from the machining is called a chip. Okay, and what you are seeing, this is called as tool, and at the end we are having a tip. Okay, we are having a sharp edge tip. So as the workpiece rotates, the tool moves in a parallel direction and thereby cutting the workpiece in a diametric direction. Okay, or it reduces the diameter. Okay, and one more thing, spindle speed is high, so we have to keep the spindle speed high to remove the extra material. Okay, and one more thing, suppose if I want to reduce the diameter from 100 to 90 mm, we are not going to remove 10 mm not at a time, so we are going to give the number of passes, and in each pass we are going to remove 1 mm, 1.5 mm, like that. Okay, so for 10 to 12 passes we are going to remove that extra material. Okay, we are not going to remove 10 mm at a time. So for around 10 to 12 passes we are going to remove the material. For first one pass it removes 1 mm material, for another pass it removes another 1 mm, like that. After 10 to 12 passes we are going to remove the 10 mm extra material. Okay, so turning is a operation used in the lathe machine to reduce the diameter, and the tool is fixed in the tool post which moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation of the workpiece, or it is parallel to the lathe axis. Both are same, axis of the workpiece and lathe axis both are same. The tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation of lathe machine, and whatever the material coming out from the given workpiece is called a chip. It is curly in nature. In order to remove the chip easily, we are going to supply the lubricant. Okay, so because whatever the heat is generated during machining operation is very high, so if the heat is very high, in that case it is very difficult to get the chip from the given workpiece. In that case we are going to supply the coolant or lubricant. Okay, so that once you supply the lubricant to this one, the chip automatically comes out and will get the machining operation. Hence cylindrical turning, just you remember movement of the tool. The tool moves in a direction parallel to axis of the rotation or axis of the lathe machine. This is called as cylindrical turning. Second one is called as facing operation. Okay, what you are saying, the second diagram, it is the facing operation. Okay, so what you are seeing, this is the facing operation. This is the 2D diagram and this is the 3D diagram. So facing operation means we are going to reduce the length of the job, and so here in this case, in order to reduce the length of the job, so the tool moves in a direction perpendicular to the axis of rotation. In case of cylindrical turning, the tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis, whereas in case of facing operation, the tool moves in a direction perpendicular to the workpiece axis or perpendicular to the lathe axis. Okay, so as it moves, you see the direction, it moves from this one outer end to inner end. So as it moves, it removes the material, like that here also. And what you are seeing, this is called as chips. The extra material coming out from the workpiece is called as chips. Coolant or lubricant is supplied to remove the chips from the given workpiece. So facing is a operation used to reduce the length of the given workpiece. The tool is fixed in the tool post. The tool moves in a perpendicular direction. Direction is most important. When the tool moves in a perpendicular direction, there will be reduction in the length of the workpiece. So the tool moves in a direction perpendicular. So as it moves, so that it reduces the length, and the whatever the extra material, the machined material comes out in the form of chip. And what you are seeing, this is called as facing tool. We studied in engineering material. So this cutting tool is usually made up of carbide coated tips. Carbide tools are used for machining in lathe. Okay, so this is the second operation. A third operation is the taper turning. Taper turning means the generation of the conical surface from the cylindrical workpiece. That is called a taper turning. Here, in case of plane turning, the tool moves uh, in a parallel direction. But in case of conical surface, the tool moves at particular angle. So when it moves at particular angle, then only there will be a generation of the conical surface. Taper turning is the generation of the conical surface from a given cylindrical workpiece. Okay, there are variety of methods are there. Okay, so from the syllabus point of view, only two methods we are discussing here. First one is taper turning by swiveling the compound rest, and another one is uh, taper turning by offsetting the tailstock. This is the most important operation what you are seeing on the diagram. Okay, generation of conical surface on the from the given workpiece is called as taper turning. There are two important methods of taper turning. One is swiveling or rotating of compound rest, and second one is by offsetting the tailstock. Okay, first I'll explain the taper turning by rotation of compound rest. Okay, so we are having a part called as compound rest in the lathe machine, and it can be rotated or it can be swiveled at particular angle for the taper turning operation. So this compound rest plays important role in taper turning operation. Means we can swivel at particular angle, so that when we are going to set that angle, so the tool moves in that angle and thereby generating the conical surface. Okay, first you see the diagram. Okay, you have to draw the diagram. This is the view of swiveling the compound rest. First you have to show the check. In the check, we are having three jaws and we are going to hold the workpiece in the jaws. So this is the taper turning operation. Okay, what after generation, and this is the view of taper portion of the workpiece. Okay, from the given cylindrical workpiece, we are going to generate. For the generation of conical surface, we need three parameters. One is capital D, that is bigger diameter of taper. Small d is small diameter of taper, and LT is the length of the taper. So once we know all these parameters, then only we can find out the angle. For generation of taper turning, we need these three parameters. One is capital D. Okay, so we need three parameters. One is capital D, that is bigger diameter of taper. Small d is small diameter of taper, and L is length of the taper. So once we know all these parameters, we are going to calculate the angle. So we are having the formula as tan alpha equals to d minus d divided by 2lt. You have to remember this formula. So alpha equals to tan inverse of d minus d divided by 2lt. So before doing this operation, we need these parameters. Suppose I am having bigger diameter as 100, small diameter as 50, length of the taper as 50 mm. So you have to substitute that value. And so after calculating, we'll get some angle, say some 20 degree like that. Then we are going to set that 20-degree angle. Then according to that, the tool moves at an angle of 20 degree. And that is the main aim of taper turning by rotation of compound rest. Okay, so you remember this formula. Tan alpha equals to tan inverse of d minus d divided by 2lt. Capital D is bigger diameter, small d is smaller diameter, divided by 2 LT. LT is length of the taper. So we'll get some angle around say 20, 25, whatever, according to the dimension given. So we'll get angle. We are going to set that angle. Okay. So this is the first step. Then after that, I'll tell how it works. We are going to hold the tool in the tool post, okay, and we are going to do the calculation, that is half taper angle. You can see the alpha. Alpha is called as half taper angle. This is the workpiece, and these are the jaws. We can hold the workpiece in the jaws inside the chuck, and we are having a part called as cross slide. So, and this is the swiveled compound rest. Now the compound rest is rotated at the calculated angle, okay, and it is having the graduations marked on the compound rest. Suppose I am having a 20-degree calculated angle is 20-degree, and we are going to set that 20-degree in the compound rest. So once we set, so the tool automatically moves at an angle of 20 degrees. So this is the important thing. This is the cutting tool which is fixed on the tool post, and it is on the compound rest only. We are going to tilt the compound rest at calculated angle. So we are having the hand wheel at the end. By using the hand wheel, we can do the movement. Okay, so you remember all the operations what we are performing on the lathe machines are conventional type. Okay, the worker and the operators will do all this operation on the lathe machine. This is a conventional type. Okay, no computer programs involved. Okay, everything we have to do manually. We have to calculate the angle, everything manually. Then we have to set that angle. Hence it is called as conventional type machine. Okay, and advanced manufacturing system, we are having the programs. Okay, we don't have any programs in a conventional lathe machine. So all the things we are going to calculate manually. Okay, so we have to draw this diagram. So first one is check workpiece. Then you have to show the alpha, this alpha and this alpha same. That is called as half taper angle. That is calculated by tan inverse of d minus d divided by 2 LT. Capital D is bigger diameter, small d is small diameter, and LT. And once we get the angle, we have to set that angle on the circular base which is present on the compound rest. Once you set the angle, so that tool automatically moves from this end to this end, and thereby generating the conical surface. Okay, this is how this is called as taper turning by rotating the compound rest. Okay, another method is there, that is called as taper turning by offsetting the tailstock. This is the second method. So in case of swiveling the compound rest, so we are rotating the compound rest, but in second method is there, that is called as taper turning by setting the tailstock method. Means we are going to shift the axis only. Okay, you see the diagram, second diagram, this is called as taper turning by offsetting the tailstock. Means in case of swelling the compound rest, we are going to rotate, but in case of offsetting the tailstock means we are going to shift the actual tailstock axis with respect to the live center. You see the position of live center is here, axis of live center is here, and the axis of dead center means we are going to shift the tailstock with a little bit below the actual live center. And whatever the amount we are shifting from the actual lathe axis, that is called as offsetting. Offsetting means shifting of the tailstock axis by a certain position with respect to lathe axis, moving down the tailstock axis or dead center axis from the actual live center axis, that is moving a certain distance below the actual lathe axis, that is called as offsetting. Then how we are going to get that offset? So how we are having the alpha in the previous case like that, here we are having a formula for offset as capital D minus small d into LW divided by 2LT. Here, what are the notation? Capital D is the bigger diameter of the conical surface or tapered surface. Small d is smaller diameter of the tapered workpiece. LW is, okay, we need some extra parameter called as LW. LW is the entire length of the workpiece. Okay, but entire length of the workpiece we are not going to consider in scaling the compound rest. But here LW, the length of the total length of the workpiece, we are going to consider in this method. Okay, and LT is the length of the taper. So in order to calculate offset, we need four parameters: capital D, small, bigger diameter of the workpiece; small d is smaller diameter of the workpiece; and then LW. LW is the entire length of the workpiece, and LT is the length of the taper. But in case of swelling the compound rest, we need only three parameters. The length of the workpiece is not required, but in case of offsetting method, we need the entire length of the workpiece. So first we should remember this formula: capital D minus D into LW, that is the entire length of workpiece, divided by entire length means here from here to here, entire length, and LT is the length of the taper, how much length we want, that is called as the length of taper, and LW is the length of the workpiece. Okay, first suppose I am having a bigger diameter as 100 mm, small diameter as 50 mm. Okay, then length of the workpiece as 200 mm and length of the taper as 100 mm. Like that, you have to substitute all the value and you'll get some value. So say around 15 mm. So that we are going to shift that 15 mm from the original lathe axis. We are going to shift the 15 mm. After calculation of this one, we are going to shift that much amount of the offset below the lathe axis, and then we are going to fix the tool in the tool post. Okay, so once you offset, once you change the position of the lathe axis, so the tool moves accordingly. So when the tool moves, we are going to generate the required tapered surface on the given workpiece. This is called as the offsetting tailstock method, means changing the position of tailstock or dead center from the actual lathe axis, that is called as the offsetting tailstock, and we are going to fix the tool in the tool post. When you shift the position offset, that much amount of the angle it generates automatically and will get the required conical surface. Okay, so the taper turning is the most important operation in lathe machine. So we are having the two methods. One is swiveling the compound rest, means rotating the compound rest at a particular angle. That angle is calculated by using the formula d minus d divided by 2lt. And one more method is there, that is called as taper turning by offsetting the tailstock, means shifting the tailstock axis or the dead center axis from the actual lathe axis is called as the offset. So when you set the offset, automatically the angle will be generated. So according to that angle, the tool moves and generates the conical surface. So this is the third method, that is conical surface generation or taper turning method. Okay, next called as knurling. Okay, knurling means we are going to generate the particular pattern. Okay, you see we are having different pattern on the given workpiece. One is angle pattern, second one is diamond pattern, and third one is straight pattern. Okay, so whenever, suppose if you are having only plane turning, only the plane diameter, it is very difficult to hold the job, means there will be slippery or we cannot hold the job properly. In such cases, we need such kind of pattern, that is angle pattern, diamond pattern, or straight pattern. Okay, means whenever you generate such kind of structure on the given workpiece, we can hold the job properly. Okay, to reduce the friction and for better gripping operation, we require such kind of patterns on the given workpiece. Okay, so and knurling, this knurling operation is exactly similar to our plane turning. In the plane turning, the turning tool is used, but in case of knurling operation, knurling tool is used, which is fixed inside the tool post. Okay, remember, only the tool is changed. For all the operation, we are using the different cutting tools. Okay, once again, in order to generate the knurling, we are going to hold the job or workpiece in the 3-jaw check or 4-jaw check. Okay, next we are going to fix the knurling tool according to our requirement. Suppose I want diamond pattern, we are going to fix that diamond pattern tool inside the this one here tool post. Suppose if I want angle pattern, I want to fix this angle pattern tool. Suppose if I want straight pattern, whatever the pattern we want, we are going to fix such kind of tool inside the tool post. Okay, here in this case it is a diamond pattern, so we are going to fix the diamond pattern inside the tool post. And here tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis. You remember it moves from so right to left. Okay, next right to left, like that. It is the tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation, or parallel to axis of the lathe machine. Okay, and one more thing, in case of plane turning or cylindrical turning, the spindle speed is high. Suppose if you give the same spindle speed here also, then there will be breakage of cutting tool. Hence we have to give the lower spindle speed as compared to the turning tool. Means suppose in case of turning, we are giving around 500 rpm or 800 rpm. Here it is quietly less, around 200 to 50 rpm we have to give for the generation. So then only there will be possibility of generation of such kind of patterns. Suppose if you give too high spindle speed, in that case there will be chances of breakage of the cutting tool. In order to avoid the breakage of cutting tool, we have to give the less spindle speed, and the tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation, and it moves that, and whatever the extra material is coming out in the form of chips, and we are going to supply the lubricant to remove the chips easily. Tool moves, and then as it moves and for number of passes, so we'll get this required pattern. This is called as knurling, that is generation of specified pattern on a given workpiece, that is called as knurling. And there are various pattern: angle pattern, diamond pattern, and straight pattern. According to the required pattern, so we are going to generate the pattern. This is called as knurling, and the tool moves in a direction parallel. You see, it moves in a parallel direction to the workpiece axis, or it is a lathe axis. Okay, all are same. Then we are going to support in the tool post. This one, it is in the tailstock. Okay, this is a tailstock is mainly used for supporting the workpiece. Next operation is called as thread cutting. Okay, so thread cutting is also very similar to our knurling operation, but the tool used in the thread cutting is called as thread cutting tool. Thread cutting is the generation of threaded structure or cutting the screw threads on the given workpiece. That is called as the thread cutting. Here, so in order to generate the thread on the given workpiece, we are going to hold the workpiece in a 3-jaw check or 4-jaw check. And once again here, the tool is fixed in the tool post, and it moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation. You remember cylindrical turning, knurling, and thread cutting, everywhere the tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation. But in case of facing, the tool moves in a direction perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Here, in order to generate a proper thread, okay, we are going to fix that threading tool in the tool post. And once again, the cutting speed means spindle speed should be less as compared to the normal turning. Okay, because we have to generate the thread. Okay, so spindle speed is less. We are going to fix the threaded tool inside the tool post. The tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation. Okay, as it moves for number of passes, it will generate the required thread. Okay, and remember, threading tool is used in case of knurling. Knurling tool used, and the movement of the tool is in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation. Okay. So this is called as thread cutting. Okay. Means generation of screw threads on the given workpiece with the help of a threading cutting tool. Okay. And once again, we are going to support that workpiece in the tailstock. Next, last operation is drilling operation. Okay. Drilling operation means production of a cylindrical hole in the given workpiece. Okay, as you can see, so using a threading tool, we cannot generate the hole. So for that, we are having a separate tool called as a drill bit. Okay, drill bit means we are going to fix directly that twist drill. You see, so this is the tool used in the generation of cylindrical hole in a given workpiece. This is called as twist drill. It is having the helical shanks. Okay, you studied in helical gears like that. We are having the helical grooves on the twist drill. The purpose of the provision of the helical grooves is when the chip generation takes place. So with the help of helical grooves, the chips moves coming out from this tool automatically. So that is the advantage of helical grooves. Okay, means when it penetrates or when it enters inside the workpiece, then the hole formation takes place, and then whatever the extra material, it comes out in the form of the chips through these helical grooves. Okay, so here you remember, in case of cylindrical turning, the tool is fixed in the tool post, but here only in case of drilling, the drill bit is directly inserted in the sleeve of the tailstock. In the tailstock, we are having a provision called a sleeve, and we can directly insert that cutting tool inside the sleeve only in case of drilling operation. That drilling tool or twist drill is directly inserted inside the tailstock. But in other operations like threading or other operations, the tool is fixed. You see, the tool is not fixed in the tool tailstock. Here the tool is fixed in the tool post, but only in case of drilling operation, the tool is fixed inside the tailstock. Okay, so here first the workpiece, this is the workpiece, and we are going to hold the workpiece in the 3-jaw check or 4-jaw check, and here at the other end we are having the tailstock or dead center. Okay, with the help of sleeve clamp and hand wheel, we can fix the drilling tool, or it is called a twist drill, in the sleeve. Okay, and then starting somewhere here it is. Okay, so when the operation takes place, we are going to move the tailstock towards the workpiece. Okay, next, when you switch on the motors, the workpiece start rotating, and we are going to move the tailstock, okay, towards the workpiece. Okay, when the workpiece rotation takes place, so this twist drill penetrates inside the workpiece and thereby generating the cylindrical hole in the given workpiece. Okay, and whatever the chip is coming out through the helical grooves, we are going to supply the coolant or lubricant to remove the chip. Okay, so by penetrating, how much depth you want, we can generate. Suppose I want the 100 mm depth of the hole, means we have to penetrate that much of depth inside the given workpiece, so that we can generate the cylindrical hole in the given workpiece. Okay, so these are the operation we can perform on the lathe machine. Okay, building operation. Okay, drilling means the generation of the cylindrical hole on the given workpiece. Second one is thread cutting, means generation of threaded structure on the given workpiece. Knurling means generation of the specified pattern on the given workpiece. Next, we are having the taper turning, means a generation of the conical surface on the given workpiece. Next, we are having cylindrical turning, facing. Facing means the reduction in the length of the given workpiece. And then cylindrical turning means reduction in the diameter of the workpiece. So these are the operation we can perform on the lathe machine. Okay, mainly you should remember. So the position of the cutting tool, how it moves. In case of cylindrical turning, knurling and thread cutting, the tool moves in a direction parallel to the axis of rotation. And in case of facing only, the tool moves in a direction perpendicular to the axis of rotation. And in case of the taper turning, so taper turning, the tool moves at a particular angle. Once again, it depends upon the method of turning. First one is by swirling the compound rest, means using the formula alpha equals to tan inverse of d minus d divided by 2 LT. So by calculating, the tool moves at that angle. And once again, using tailstock offset method, where the shifting of the tailstock takes place, so that according to that the tool moves. So the tool moves at particular angle in case of taper turning. And then in case of drilling, the tool is directly fixed in the sleeve of the tailstock, and then how much amount of the depth is required, so we are going to generate that much of the depth in the given workpiece. Okay, so these are the operations we can perform in the lathe machine. And remember, in the lathe machine we can hold only cylindrical job. Okay, we can perform only cylindrical, we can hold. It is not possible to hold the other jobs. Like suppose I am having rectangular, it is not possible to hold. For that we are having another machine called as milling machine. So you remember, we can do any operation of cylindrical type. We can hold only cylindrical job in the lathe machine. Lathe machine is one of the most oldest and most widely used tool. Okay, and in case of the lathe machine, the spindle rotates and workpiece rotates, and the tool movement takes place. Okay, either in parallel direction or in perpendicular direction. Okay, hope you understood the lathe operation. Okay, tomorrow I'll explain milling operation. Okay, Kirtana, you understood?
Yes, sir, I
Okay.
understood.
Tomorrow I'll do one more. That is milling operation. I'll explain. Okay, in the tomorrow class.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye. I'll stop the session now. Okay.
Thank you, sir.